Welcome everyone back to another market review for the Asian session for Japanese yen dollar. And we're reviewing August 20th, 2024, which is Tuesday. And from that 8 to 10 p.m. trading period, which is the Asian kill zone via ICT. So we're on this weekly chart here, and the only level really that I was keeping even from my previous video was we were looking at this new week opening gap and seeing that as a possible area of interaction for price. And if we drop down to a daily chart, I was telling you before that we were looking at this high as being a potential draw for price. It still is, in my opinion, but in terms of where price is currently and what levels pertaining to this specific day, all we really had was that new week opening gap. But on the daily, there was really nothing else that would have interacted with this level. And if we drop down to a 1 hour, so I can get specific as to how really the day went. On this 1 hour, we see that, so price leading up to that 8 to 10 p.m. session, we can see that we have a lot of buy stops up here. This is a lot of liquidity, and it takes buy stop twice. So we drop lower, we run up buy side, all this buy side that's up here, we take it out, pull back, and we run it again, leading up into that 8 to 10 p.m. session around there. And we're also above midnight open. So a crucial thing I always say is drop down that midnight open on your charts, as this will give you a framework to really say, okay, you know, for this far above midnight open, would it really be ideal to be buying, you know, here, or in these order blocks, you know, because you're trading into a premium. This is, if we were to see where price is currently based on that, you know, we're looking at around, we're talking about 1.47%. That's really extreme to think of your buying in that type of scenario. So to increase probabilities, look to use that midnight open, and ideally you want to be selling above and buying below it. But that's going to be the 1 hour overview of what I was looking at yesterday. And if we drop down to a 5 minute here, as we can see here, I also have, if you guys were wondering what is this highlighted session range, this is 8:30 to 9:30. I call this like the ICT silver bullet for the Asian session. Again, don't quote me on this. I don't know if he said it or not. You guys can comment down below if this really is one, but I just like to use it. And this was going to be my main target here because these lows are too smooth. This low here and this low here, you see price runs up the liquidity. We run down, displacing below this low. That's that break right there. That's that structural break. We want to see that displacement. Price comes up, 5 minute order block. You can see, look at the wicks respecting right here on that new week opening gap, because you're combining them together. And then look at the bodies respecting the order block. And you're asking probably, why did I choose this one? Because these two up close candles were engulfed by this one down close candle. So you take the open of the first candle and draw it out. And you can see we trade up into it and we displace lower. And then dropping down to a 1 minute, a potential setup possibly for that day, if you were looking to engage in this price, we see all this movement right here. All this is a low resistance liquidity run, because notice that price is leaving behind a lot of fair value gaps and not filling any of them in. And also there's no swings in any of this price action here. So that's going to lead to a price falling harder than it normally would. Let's say, you know, with here, see how there's a lot of pullbacks because there's lows here. But this is just a strong one-way move that's going to cause price to really move down back into it rather quickly. And here's that 5 minute order block that I talked about. And we also have a 1 minute order block here. So we see price taps, order block. We have an engulfing, comes up. Again, you can possibly get in there, but I would say wait for that confirmation. We break lower, displacing fair value gap with an inversion fair value gap at the exact same time. And then we trade up into it. Look at the bodies. I'm going to zoom in here. Look at the bodies respecting that consequent encroachment of it. That's absolutely algorithmic. And then we trade lower. So your stop could have been possibly above the inversion fair value gap, or even just above this high, and that would have been fine. And then these two fair value gaps here, that's going to be these are both breakaway gaps. That's what we want to see. That's showing heavy bearish order flow. So that's exactly what you like to see. You don't want to see these get traded back into. And then we see price teases us a little bit. It reaches down, pulls back into this inefficiency here to finally hitting our target. Now keep in mind that macro is starting at that 850, so you could, if you're worried that price might want to trade back up into this one at least, you could put that stop loss just above here and hopefully make this one stay open as a breakaway gap, and then we trade lower in the rest of the session. But overall, this one, it went really great. For anyone that caught this possibly right from here back to this two smooth lows down here. And if we take a look at DXY to see exactly what was happening with dollar during this time, the only level I saw that could have possibly caused yen to go down during that time was this new day opening gap. So you can see it right here. I'm going to zoom in. Here's that new day opening gap right there. And we see price trade into it, and we have a bullish reaction from it. And if we go to the 1 minute and we really analyze as to what really happened during it, what do we see again? So a consolidate manipulation in the form of this displacement down here, but this is a manipulation leg, and then price trades higher. So what happens here? Price trades up. Let's say you're, like I said, you wait, pull back, break. That's your break, displacement, and then you have a fair value gap coupled with this inverted order block here, and then it trades higher. So this trade, all in all, with JPY, it was a very good trade. Everything lined up rather well for anyone taking this. But we were definitely seeking these lower prices down here. And of course, like I always say, is look how far we are above that midnight open. If you're able to combine that time and price factor, your chances of probability are going to be much higher if you combine them both. So time being first the session, so that 8 to 9:30, and then price. Where is price currently? And it's look how above it is on the midnight open. So your chances of price falling back to a level that you have are much higher in that regard. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys appreciate this video. Please feel free to comment down below, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.